Welcome back for another video. Double Game Week 33 up next. Who are the best players to buy this week? What's the best free hit team? What do we do with O'Reilly? So we've got Bournemouth playing Newcastle away and then Leeds home. Brighton plays Spurs away then Chelsea home. Burnley play Forest away then City home. Chelsea play Man United home, Brighton away. Leeds have got Wolves home, Bournemouth away. And Man City have got Arsenal home and then Burnley away. All teams have got one away and one home fixture. Ranking them best to worst on fixture qualities, I would go Leeds first, then City, then Chelsea, then Bournemouth, Brighton and Burnley. Lots of opportunities in those fixtures though. How many players have you guys got doubling this week? It's obviously a very popular week for the free hit and also the bench boost, so let's break it all down. And we'll start with a quick goalkeepers discussion. So for Game Week 33, Donnarumma leads with 7.6 projected points on review. A convincing win and a clean sheet at Stamford Bridge. The biggest game of the season coming up in the first part of their double though, Arsenal home, could equate to potentially a cagey lower scoring game, which won't be a bad thing defensively, will it? However, if you're free hitting, then I think you might be better off using that valuable City spot on a defender or a midfielder. That's how I would shape up on a free hit team, rather than going with Donnarumma. Darlow is second on the table with a promising Wolves home fixture to start the double game week. For 3.9 mil, he's just the perfect double game week enabler. Darlow and a City defender I think is a little bit stronger than Donnarumma and Strike, for example, because the City defenders basically have more chance of a goal involvement than the Leeds defender, generally speaking. I mean, last match, two literally scored for City, in fact, O'Reilly and Gahey. Verbruggen is third top this week, 6.5 points for him, and then Petrovic 6.0, Sanchez 5.7 and Dubravka 5.6. It's slightly surprising that Verbruggen's that far ahead of Petrovic really. Like, Tottenham are in such dire form, I do realise that, but it really is make or break. If they keep a clean sheet away against Spurs, and I think that could be curtains and relegation for Spurs, so they're not going to go down without a fight. And Chelsea home is going to be tough as well. Bournemouth obviously have to travel away to Newcastle, which in fairness is a tough fixture. Although Newcastle are in pretty poor form, aren't they? You'd still realistically expect them to score home to Bournemouth. And Bournemouth are actually worst in the league for XG conceded in away games. 35.6 XGC on the road. Only 13.4 XGC in home games though, which is second best after Arsenal. So O'Reilly went off injured against Chelsea. Bizarrely, I really can't wrap my head around this. Not a single journalist thought to ask Pep in the post-match press conference how O'Reilly is after going off injured. So we don't have a solid update. We don't have one at all basically. We're just speculating. He's received a yellow flag in FPL, which has added a penalty to his projected points in FPL review, so he's further down the table. And therefore it's Nunes and Strike that are top this week with 8.0 projected points each. If O'Reilly is out for the double, then Nunes and Gahey are the obvious replacements there. Aït-Nouri just not worth the long-term risk, unless we get a really surprise update that O'Reilly's out for the season, but I don't think it's nearly as serious as that. Might even play in the double. Nunes has got 8 goal involvements this season and 26 starts. Gahey's got 7 involvements in 29. If we compare their underlying stats on Scout, O'Reilly's 6.52 expected goal involvement is top. He's shot the most as well. Gahey's second, he's 5.99 XGI, 28 shots taken. Nunes 2.36 XGI, 7 shots. And Aït-Nouri 2.13 XGI, 7 shots as well. Nunes leads all of them on crosses. If I was picking one, I would opt for Gahey, but Nunes very close second best. Senesi's just behind those guys here in 4th place on the table. Bogle actually tied on 7.7 points with Senesi. Hill is on 7.1, and that's based on him getting 90 minutes in both games, and he just misses out on making the table, but he's such a strong option for 4.2 mil. I'm recording this before Man United versus Leeds. Now, Beal was a doubt in the press conferences, but it sounded like he did have a chance of making the game. And if he makes the 11, he's a really good option for that cheap. He's only 3.9 mil. He averages 10.27 defcons per 90, and that ranks top among all defenders for Leeds. Strike is the best pick if you've got the money though for his nailedness. The only slight risk of Beal is that Rodon is expected back probably end of April or early May, more likely, so that could make him a slight risk for that Burnley home fixture in Game Week 35 when you really want your Leeds defender starting. If we do the same comparison of Leeds defenders and attacking data, Bogle was actually top with 3.77 XGI, and then Strike 3.28, and then Gudmundsson, Justin and Beal. You can access my data tables for free on Scout because they're currently doing 21 days free premium membership. Use the link below to join and you can cover yourself a double Game Week 33, blank Game Week 34 and Game Week 35 for free. You can access all the data tables I use in these videos plus the other member tools there. Moving on to the midfielders, and Palmer's top this week, 10.2 points he's on, and then it's Tavernier, and then it's Semenyo. Chelsea looking really poor as of late. However, I just wouldn't let that put you off including Palmer on a free hit or even buying him this week. Some Chelsea fans are arguing Rosenior's just out of his depth. Perhaps that's the case, maybe not, maybe he needs more time. Either way, it's still a double game week, and it's not a terrible one for Chelsea. It's still worth targeting. Interestingly, both Ampadu and Aronson are joint 4th on the table for Leeds. Ampadu's averaging 12.22 defcons per 90, so if he gets defcon in both games and no returns, he could come away with an 8 or a 9 pointer, which is a great return for 4.9 mil. Aronson averages 8.07 per 90, only a 13% success rate for him compared to Ampadu's 54%, though Aronson is the one with the goal threat. He's got 10 goal involvements this season. His minutes have just been totally all over the place though, so I would avoid him. He's played 90 minutes once since GW33. Turkey has come back in the conversation after 4 starts in a row. Man City are playing their best football of the entire season right now, and he's been a part of that uptick in form. 2 assists against Chelsea, 3 assists in his last 3 I think that is. The assist for Gay's goal in particular was absolutely brilliant. If you're on a free hit, you could make a case for going triple attack, so Turkey, Semenyo and Haaland. It's down to preference though, that one. I would still lean towards Guehi, Semenyo and Haaland myself, with Nunes the alternative defender. Enzo has finished serving his 2-match internal suspension, and I think he's completely under the radar as a free hit pick. I would expect him back in the starting 11, so he's strongly worth considering. In fact, if I had mine active, I would have Enzo in there. Some other mids that are worth a mention and their respective projections. Scott is on 7.1 points, just misses out on the table. Obviously got that double-digit return against Arsenal last match. Vifa's 7.0 points. Also hit a double-digit return last match with a brace. Gross 6.9 points, he got the assist last match. If you're out of chips completely, or you're not using one in 34, then Cunha and Gordon are worth looking at. They've got some good fixtures to come still, and they don't blank in Gameweek 34. Gordon does have Arsenal away in 34, which isn't good, but he's got Bournemouth home in 33, which is a strong single game week fixture, plus some great games to come after for the run-in. Some managers are having to juggle double game week 33 players with some others that don't double but do play in 34 due to not having chips, so different strategies at play this week. Wilson for 6.1 mil, still a sound pick. He's got Brentford away and then Villa home in the blank game week, plus he's got Bournemouth home and Wolves away later. One thing I will say is don't go all in on double game week picks if you're not using a chip in game week 34, if it's going to mean you have to take a hit later. You know, it's not worth bringing in someone like a Scott, famous last words, he'd probably haul now, if you have to then take a -4 to get Scott back out. Forwards up next, and then we'll have a look at the best Game Week 33 team. Haaland's 12.0 projected points is top of the game week. If you've got your triple captain chip, do you therefore use it now? I would save it. There's around a 90% or so chance that the Man City vs Palace postponement drops into Game Week 36, which would be an incredibly strong double game week for City and Haaland especially. And it looks like the title race is still going to be in the balance by then, which really only strengthens it. Brentford home and Palace home would be the double game week. Plus Palace are going to have one eye on Europa around then, aren't they? Haaland's projected points will be higher then than they are now, which is enough to delay it. Calvert-Lewin is second on the table, 8.7 points, and then João Pedro 7.9, and then Evan Nilsson 7.7, and Welbeck 6.0. It's a double game week of 2 halves for City. It's the worst possible opponent, followed by the best one. Thiago's the only single game week forward on the table here. He's on 5.3 projected points, playing Fulham home. Again, if you're out of chips and you need players that are good this week and blank game week 34, then he's fantastic. And then he's got West Ham home in game week 35 as well. Will João Pedro get back to his earlier form? That's 3 blanks in a row now. Do you remember that patch of 8 games when he scored 8 goals, plus he got 6 assists, 14 goal involvements and 8? But the form is just not there now. Not just him specifically, but Chelsea in general, it's fallen off a cliff. Perhaps Enzo, Palmer and Evan Nilsson is better than someone like a Gross and a João Pedro. Hopefully not, because I'm on that Gross and João Pedro combination, but Enzo could be really under the radar differential. So with that all in mind, what's the best possible team using FPL Review's projected points from this video? This is from the FPL Focal app, it's free in the app stores, and the team is Donnarumma, Bogle, Senesi, Struijk, Enzo, Palmer, Semenyo, Tavernier, Calvert-Lewin, Haaland and João Pedro. How many players have you got from the team? So it's triple City, triple Chelsea, triple Leeds, and then double Bournemouth in the starting 11. And on the bench we've got Verbruggen, Ryan, Van Heck and Kadioglu. I would say I like the Darlow and Guehi or Nunes combination slightly more than Donnarumma and Bogle, but it's much of a muchness, to be honest with you, if you've got the chip active. You know, we're talking like fractions of projected points and difference between those combinations, so don't be afraid to slightly push the boat out and change some different combinations that you like. Thank you for watching. There's a link below, as I say, for 21 days of free Scout Premium membership that takes you through all the important remaining game weeks. Hit subscribe. See you soon for the next one.